Hey, what's going on? Sean Belegian here. Wanted to give some draft thoughts out there. Hopefully you've been following along, whether it be on the radio shows or the draft podcast I do with Scott Bischoff. But 2020 NFL draft is over. It was strange. But we needed it, didn't we? It was a nice distraction from COVID-19. With all that being said, we got to get to the nitty-gritty of it. Of course, the Lions take Jeff Okudah, #1 overall. Listen, I know it's cool. I know it's hip. I know it's in vogue to hammer the Lions. But can we look at this at face value? This was an interesting spot where the best player at his position and need, those roads intersected. Of course, I'd like extra picks. No doubt about that. But at the core, they got themselves a heck of a player in Okudah. I think the kid's going to be a stud, and it was a massive position of need. Now, round 2 was a little peculiar to me. I thought that they would take a running back. I think everybody thought that they would take a running back. Taking DeAndre Swift where they did, though, I think that surprised some people. And I want to say this. It's not because of the player. If you follow this, people think that DeAndre Swift was going to be one of the first couple running backs that go off the board. Couple reasons. Number one, if you've listened to me over the years, and I hope you've accepted this now, look, the running back position has become devalued. I think people that argued it a few years ago, I think they're quietly waving the white flag right now. So I was a little surprised by that. I thought that there were bigger needs at the time. DeAndre Swift is a heck of a running back. Make no mistake about that. But let's look at it at face value. This is a guy that maybe touches the ball 12, 15 times a game. I know a lot of people are going to have some debate about that. Julian Okwara out of Notre Dame. Now, it's interesting. I talked to my buddy, the scout, Scott Bischoff. He told me flat out, if it wasn't for the injury, this is a guy that probably would have gone early second round. So I think there's some value there in the third round. And he's that type of player that you hear Matt Patricia talking about it all the time. 3-4-4-3, yeah. You know, how many times has Matt Patricia said that? So he's a guy that can kind of fit that defense a little bit. Jonah Jackson, I think, is great value. Plug and play is a word that you could use for him. I think from the sounds of it, this is a guy that could come in day one, be a starter. Logan Stenberg is the guy that everybody's already talking about. People are going to continue to talk about him. The comment that, he thinks that he plays football the right way and there are too many cupcakes out there. He has already endeared himself to some of the fans out there and the media as well. This is a guy, though, that with that fierceness, that ferociousness, it might not be right away. I'm not saying that he's going to be, in that same class as Jonah Jackson, but this guy could be a part of the line eventually for a long time to come. If you've listened to our podcast at all or listened to me on the radio at all, you know this name. I love Facade of Wisconsin. I wanted Facade of Wisconsin in the 5th round, and my gosh, it's one of those rare times that a team actually went and did something that you wanted to do. This is a guy, if you pay attention to a lot of those measurables, throw it out the window. There's a difference between what he's going to do on the field and what he did in those time runs. This is a guy that makes plays. Jason Huntley was a little bit of a head scratcher as well. I'll be honest with you, I was expecting the punter there. I really was. The Lions have to get a punter. I thought that they were going to grab a punter there, if not there in the 6th round. He looks like kick return guy. Let's wait and see how that plays itself out. John Pennisini out of Utah. Get it out of your system. You done? Did you laugh? Funny time over? Okay, it's interesting because I think this is a guy that can bring some depth behind Danny Shelton in particular. Everything's rotational up front now. Let's face it. It isn't like back in the day where you knew who everybody's four were, whether it be the fearsome foursome or the steel curtain, whatever the case may be. I think he's going to be a rotational guy. The guy that really interests me, and I asked a couple of my scout friends about him, is Cornell out of Ohio State in the 7th round. A lot of people said he got overshadowed because some of the talent on there and thought that maybe some of the things that he did was because of the talent on there. Well, the scouts disagree. They think it's great value in the 7th round, and this is a guy that really a lot of people a couple of years from now are going to be talking about and saying, wow, how'd that guy go in the 7th round? So all in all, there's still a lot of work to be done, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Hearing rumors about a tight end already, hearing rumors about a safety. They have to get a punter as well. But Lord knows a lot of work on the defensive side of the ball. Hope you enjoyed the draft. Check us out Tuesday. A couple friends of mine are coming over. We're going to have a barbecue. Going to do some Italian sausages, get their take on the draft as well. For now, bye-bye.